So let's go racing for the last time before the finals. It's Arvid Lindblad and Matthias Morgato on the front row from Andrei Zhivnov and Luigi Coluccio. Ariel Elkin and Joe Turney from Marlon Hernandez and Nicolas Bertolatti. Bruno Del Pino is missing from his place on the grid by the look of it. Lars van Vark and Jenny Savico. Then Bo Heimans, Artem Severukin, Koivisto, Chapil, Kim, Besson, Porter, Gomez, G, Andriolo, Nureddini, Gravland, Andronako and Mesh. Here we go. And it's a great start from the front of the field. Excellent getaway from Arvid Lindblad. And it's going to be Zhivnov who tries to hold it around the outside. Morgato spins! Morgato tries to get round the outside and gets tapped into a spin just on pure momentum. Nobody at fault in that one. Racing incident, and Matthias Morgato spins off the circuit. What a shame for the Brazilian.
Yes, indeed, and a pretty good start for everybody except for Matthias Morgato. Can he actually try to get back and get his engine going again? He's pushing on his own, of course, with no help needed.
Well done.
Yes, he goes through. Well done indeed for the young Brazilian from Beerlaert, who is back on track. In the meantime, it was a perfect and clean start for this young man, Arvid Lindblad, that we had on the interview just before. The 102 from Car Republic, really pulling away already, and we had a move further back. I think he was from Marlon Hernandez getting past Ariel Elkin as a confirmation. He was one of the Forza Racing drivers, my apologies, further back. And so the classification as a complete lap 1. Lindblad with Coluccio, Zhivnov, Bertolatti in 4th, Turney, then Civico Espona, Elkin, Van Laars, Heimans and Hernandez in 10th.
Look at Elkin trying to hold on to his position there around the outside. He gets there on Lars van Vark to hold on to the place, but he got onto the runoff area. So we have to see if he's going to have another opportunity to go after the drivers in front. But that little bit of momentum that was lost there after Nicolas Bertolatti got through. Now it's Joe Turney, Jenny Savico, and then Lars van Vark, because he gets back past on Ariel Elkin. Elkin trying to get straight back on him, and he did say that in the try he's got a little bit of an issue with his setup. So he's hoping for rain all weekend long, because he's very strong indeed in the wet, is Ariel Elkin. But it hasn't quite worked out that way for this coming race. Then up the inside, nice manoeuvre there. Through to the inside line as we've got the two battling KART Republic drivers. That's Bo Heimans trying to force the issue on the inside of Marlon Hernandez, trying to get him to sweep up the inside of Ariel Elkin. Oh. And that's an off there on the straight. That's Igor Chapil. Igor Chapil onto the grass and has to let the 140 go. So through goes Warren Kim, but that is not the situation Igor Chapil wanted to be in.
Lap number 3, our disqualifying heat, and almost a second advantage for Arvid Lindblad on Luigi Coluccio. Here they are on the motorway straight. Watch out, because Andrei Zhivnov with the Tony Kart colors might actually get close to Coluccio. The battle for second might be coming just anytime soon, as Nicolas Bertolatti is under pressure as well for the back. The 105, he is further back in the classification. This is Artem Severukin from World Racing, who is in the mix of very, very competitive drivers as well, trying to make his way through ahead of Sebastian Gravland. Look out, because the Cosmic driver is going to shut the door on his way to the last turn. Can Severukin make that stick? Yes, he goes through. Oh, that was beautiful. Artem Severukin up a position in what will be 11th place, just outside of the top 10. Bo Heimans is next, and I think he just made another move above Heimans, if I've seen this correctly. No, not quite yet for the Swedish driver on your screen.
But a textbook overtake from Artem Severukin as he gets past Sebastian Gravland. That is the exact blueprint for how an overtaking move should be made on the final corner on the lap. And it's Nicolas Bertolatti there that we're watching, just trying to close up on Andrei Zhivnov in the hope that he can get up into 3rd position. But Luigi Coluccio, ever Mr. Consistent, running in 2nd place. The Italian's so strong on that Cosmic. He really has made this chassis his own, essentially, leading the team to greatness in 2nd position. And Coluccio there doing an absolutely brilliant job in 2nd position. We're watching Zhivnov and Bertolatti behind them. There's the leader, Arvid Lindblad, 2nd place Coluccio. And it's great to watch as they battle away for supremacy. Zhivnov trying to fend off from Nicolas Bertolatti, and Joe Turney is there in 5th position in his hope to move forward. Very intense battling so far, and there's a great opportunity here for a few drivers in the midfield to get a decent position, but Zhivnov is under pressure to hold on to that top 3 position. He doesn't want to drop any further down, because that's going to affect his starting position rapidly.
Yeah, Luigi Coluccio in 2nd place needs as a result indeed is concluded yesterday with a 9th place after 2 top 5. That would be the best result, and there he goes through, beautifully made from Nicolas Bertolatti on the outside of turn number 9. And watch out, because there might be more trouble for Zhivnov, getting passed by Joe Turney on the Grand Start corner. And it was once again clean. Turney might want to go even further, getting past Bertolatti around the inside, and he takes actually Zhivnov with him. Bertolatti being pushed a little bit out of the way, but shuts the door on the exit of the last turns. That was very tight indeed, but the door was open, and there he fights back. What a move that is from Nicolas Bertolatti, running wide on the curve. Oh! Touch, and Tony goes through, and Zivnov as well. Oh, that's 2 positions lost once again for Severyukin, who fought, he tried, and he lost.
I did have a feeling that Bertolatti was carrying far too much speed into the first corner, that he would drift onto the runoff area, which he did, but he tried to force the issue back on the inside of Joe Turney, but Joe Turney will not budge. He is absolutely strong fourth in the position, and there's a big lunge on the inside from Genis Savico. Savico comes through. Nice move there from the DBK driver as he gets up into 5th position. Good run from Savico, and there's not a lot that Bertolatti can do to retaliate just at the moment as they come up to the final corner once again. Savico, P5, Bertolatti, P6, Ariel Elkin still running a solid race in P7 in front of Lars van Vark, and then you've got Marlon Hernandez in front of Artem Severyukin. Here's the move again from Bertolatti. Don't even think about getting this position away from me. I'm going to take it back. And Genis Savico is back on terms with Bertolatti once more. They climb up through turn 3, up through 4, up into the right-hander at the hairpin, into 5. And Savico is threatening once again on Bertolatti.
Yeah, what a beautiful battle it is. Severyukin in the meantime setting out the fastest lap in this race, 52.8 as you can see. Lindblad still less than a second advantage on Luigi Coluccio, who keeps up the pace. Actually, the young Italian is not been able quite to decrease that gap over the course of the last few laps as we got past the halfway mark of this race. But Coluccio sits in second.
Oh, that's Andronaco. That's the man who finished second in that crazy heat in the wet yesterday. But Vincent Andronaco now off the circuit at turn 6 of the hairpin and out of the race. He's actually done that on the exit of the flip-flops, would you believe? So a bit of an issue there for Vincent Andronaco.
Fun fact, actually, Vincent Andronaco, by finishing second, was still penalized with a 5-second penalty for front firing, but due to the immense gaps that we saw yesterday, was still able to keep that second position. So
yeah, he was a lap ahead of Bo Caymans. That doesn't happen very often in karting, I'll tell you that. Anyway, Lindblad still in front of Coluccio, only by a second, interestingly. Coluccio not letting Lindblad get too far ahead, and Joe Turney giving them plenty to think about as well with the new fastest lap of the race. There is Lindblad. Look back, you've got Coluccio and Turney. They're not that far away, actually. So Lindblad may be in charge at the moment, but he's still got time to lose this. There's 4 laps to go at the end of this one, and both Coluccio and Turney are looking very strong indeed. Here's Coluccio, so impressive in his new berth at Cosmic. He joined them last year, and he is so incredibly fast on board the Cosmic chassis. It works so well for him. Now Vincent Andronaco has got going again. He's being shown the blue flag, so he's got to get out of the way of Arvid Lindblad. And this is a very unusual situation for karting. You don't get to see the blue flag very often in karting. We didn't even really see it yesterday in that crazy race because it was so difficult for everybody to figure out where everybody was. So now Coluccio and Turney getting close to each other. Turney might snatch second here before they catch up to Lindblad. But if Turney is wise, which he always seems to be, he might just slot in behind Coluccio and start to work him closer and closer and closer toward Arvid Lindblad. But he does need another position because after his 2 crashes yesterday, he's down in 34th on the aggregate running. He needs a win ultimately to get his way through. Well done to Andronaco, getting out of the way there, not compromising anybody's race, doing the sensible thing. Here comes Turney on the inside of Coluccio, second place, that'll do. He's got 3 laps to try and get close to Lindblad. Has he got enough time?
Has he got enough time indeed for Joe Turney, who hasn't been that lucky yesterday in the qualifying heats, as you said. His best result was only a P8 in those treacherous conditions, as he was actually due to take the start from all of his heats from pole position, but a penalty actually decided otherwise. So it's time to fight back once again for Joe Turney, who still have a slight chance due to these strong results to make it to the final.
Dear, oh dear. Well, that is Frederik Lund, the young man from Costa Rica. Frederik Lund out of the race at turn 1. So now it's all about Turney trying to close up on Lindblad. The gap is 9/10 of a second, and you can bet there's going to be a big rivalry between these two. Arvid Lindblad, the young gun for Red Bull on the Kart Republic, and Joe Turney, the captain of the ship at Tony Kart these days. It's wonderful how he's taken over this mantle, and he is leading the team back to greatness. We saw what they did with the top 3 lockout at the World Championships in Portimao, and you have to say a lot of that has come down to the development work that Joe Turney has been doing since he joined Tony Kart at the beginning of 2019.
Absolutely, very impressive from Joe Turney, one of the strongest out there, that's for sure, as he proved over the past few months. And even though luck wasn't on his side yesterday, he's still very much capable of recovering through the final if he makes it. But the chance is at the moment. What he needs to do is keep fighting and keep his second position away from Luigi Coluccio on a very good pace so far as well, as we're getting near the conclusion of what will be the last of qualifying heats before the two finals this afternoon. Lindblad on his way to a fourth win, a fantastic set of results for Harvard Lindblad that has been pretty much unbeatable throughout this weekend. Final lap and almost a second advantage for this young man, Lindblad. Turney, Coluccio in second and third, still quite close, but I don't think that Luigi Coluccio might have enough time on his hands to find the gap, the little gap that he needs to get through. Then we have Zivnov in fourth in front of Nicolas Pertilati. That will be, I'm sure, the classification at the end of this lap.
Well, this is the chance for Arvid Lindblad to prove that he is unbeatable at Genk. He was frustrated 2 weeks ago in the warm-up race to this event. He didn't quite make the podium, but he had been one of the fastest drivers all weekend. It all came unstuck for him in the pre-final. He doesn't have a pre-final to worry about this time. He will come out of this qualifying heat and go straight to pole position in the OK Senior Final, and he's got a great chance to become the next British European champion. Here he comes out of the final turn. Arvid Lindblad takes the victory for the fourth time this weekend, and that is good enough to put him on pole position, unbeaten this weekend. He is the only driver in the whole paddock who can claim that.
Yeah, fantastic result, fantastic pace put together by Arvid Lindblad. Joe Turney in second place in front of Luigi Coluccio, a very strong top three, and some of the contenders that we might find on our way once again coming to the final, even though Joe Turney will have a strong job to do recovering from the back end of the grid. We'll keep you up to date, of course, once the classification is established, and we'll have a starting order for the OK final taking place this afternoon from 2:30 local time here in Genk. Here's the classification in full, with Arvid Lindblad winning for the fourth time, Joe Turney in second in front of Luigi Coluccio from Andrei Zivnov, Nicolas Pertilati, Artem Severyukin, Ariel Elkin, Lars van Laak from Marlon Hernandez, Bo Eyemans, Jenis Civico Espona, Igor Cepil, Arwan Kim, Morgan Porter, Hugo Besson and Erolin Nirandini.
Behind them it is Emili Koivisto from Roman Andriolo, Joel Mesh and Kuba Rashki, Gerard G and Jose Antonio Gomez Gutierrez, Christian Leuven and Sebastian Gravlund, Gianni Andrezzani ahead of Matthias Mogato and Senja Phoenix, and then Vincent Andronaco. And the retirements, Frederick Lund, and the non-starter, Bruno Del Pino.